from Toad Hopper Ranch. I just wanted to show you my view most days, and those aren't our horses, they belong to our neighbors, but it's beautiful to get up and just see them out there munching on grass and doing what horses do. And so we're blessed to live here. Well, we haven't been on for a while because, and I hope this doesn't affect it, but the wind never stops blowing here, so my microphone picks up every little thing and you can't hear me probably. But we have been busy after the rain stopped and got a lot done, seriously. Still working on stuff. It's 90 degrees today and we're gonna have 3 more days of 90 degrees. So we do a little bit of a time when we can, and when we can't, we sit on the porch and drink lemonade. But anyway, just wanted to take you around and show you what's going on. I can take you over here to Terry, and the sound is going to drown out, but he's running the rototiller and he's working on some beds that we're going to put in. Let me get over here. Turn it around and show you what he's doing. So he's getting that all filled up, and there's going to be 2 tunnels like this one right here. There's 2 tunnels. They're going to be bean tunnels. There's going to be another one sitting right here, and then we're going to have flowers and stuff in here. We already have a tunnel set up in nearby Joy, and there are things already starting to come up. We're blessed by a ranch to get these mineral cups, and I have zucchini coming up in here. I've got cucumbers coming up in here. I've got it's a squash, but they're, see that? What they are warty pumpkins, but they get really huge. I grew them back in Ohio and they just took over. So anyway, and then over here I've got some more of those pumpkins. See, they're starting to come up. And then over here I have some spaghetti squash. It doesn't look like it's coming up yet, but there's a couple of watermelons in there, so they're doing okay. In here I've got I planted some other squash. It was old seed. I don't know if it's gonna come up or not, but I also have some zucchini coming up in here too. So we were fortunate enough to get all of this wood chips off of a chipper, and we're spreading that around. We can get all we want, we just have to go get it. And here's Terry. He's taking a break.
Show them those rocks there.
Oh yes.
Those all grew since last year. This was plowed 3 times last year, and those are all brand new rocks, including the remains of one large arrowhead.
You found an arrowhead?
Well, the remains of one. It's been plowed, but you can see it may have been a scrap one.
Maybe it was
napping,
a chip.
but
oh my!
It's been tilled a few times.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
Some Indian probably shot himself trying to till the ground.
Well, that's not funny. This is not easy.
No,
this
it's
part
hard.
of the yard has quite a few rocks in it, and the pile over there by the mower.
They all came out of this little section of garden here last year.
Yeah.
This is all new, just in this little 2-foot wide section going down
Wow.
through there.
Nothing
They grow every fall. They're better than potatoes as far as reproduction.
That's Rick. The wind's caught him, so he's sitting on the ground watching everything. The wind blows these things and I need to repair them almost every day. So, some of the other things that we've been doing, this is a flower bed that goes alongside our driveway, and there are things planted in it. Still, some of them are coming up, some of them aren't. We're still kind of early in the season, and thank goodness, because of all the rain that we've had, we weren't able to get out here and get anything done because of the rain, the wind, and everything just was mud. So we've got big hopes for sunflowers and all kinds of stuff. You can see that we do have a couple of sunflowers. They were grown in the under the grow lights, and this one doesn't look too good. He's been grown and frozen and bent, and but that's from bird seed. This right here is our garlic patch. Our garlic is already taller than our corn ever got last year. We planted it last fall, and it's looking really good. And we've already been pulling up some of the onions. We've got radishes. We've got the breakfast radishes. They're kind of long and skinny. And then down here we have, and it was a free packet from Baker's Creek, and it is Wasabi Radishes. I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to be like. And I forgot to point out, but right here there's a whole row of radishes grown as well as peas by the fence. I didn't turn around and show those. But we're pretty proud of the way the garlic in that is coming up. There's one of my spinners that just blew off. Probably broke. Yep, it broke. That thing is taking some beating. Okay, so we've got this is all garlic, and then there are the onions. I've got a couple of, and they're just starting to come up. Right there and right there is okra. And I planted some seeds in there too, so we'll see what happens with those, because I could use a couple of more okra plants. We have cabbage and, not cabbage, broccoli and kale in this row. And we're probably going to have to cover these before long, because it's going to be bug season pretty soon, and those wormy things will be in there doing what wormy things do. But I noticed this one here already has a head on it, just a little tiny one. I stuck 2 rows of beets in right here, here and here, and so far they're not coming up, and I'm thinking I might have to replant them again. And we're trying different mulch things here to keep from having to weed everything. And that cardboard is supposed to be covered with wood chips, but we just haven't got to it yet. We have cabbage, and there's a whole row of cabbage, and they look like they're doing pretty good. At the fence line right here on both sides are mostly Jet Star tomatoes, and some of them look good, and some of them look like they need help. Let me see. Some of them might have been too small. And actually they're growing, they're just really small. I tried not to jump the gun like I did last year and have so many huge plants before I could even get near putting them in the ground. And we've got sunflowers and that planted around different spots in the yard. And there's a sunflower supposed to get really tall. Now over here, all of our tub garden. And I should have came at it from a different way. Let me get down here to the beginning. That is a pile of manure. Compost now. But Terry built both of these raised beds, and he just built this one. We just put it up yesterday, and we're filling it up with all kinds of broken branches and stuff like that. The previous owners had just left piles and piles of this stuff in the backyard, so I've been hauling it up here by wagon load. And putting it in there. Then we'll put manure on top top of that, and topsoil, and then we'll put top dressing on it, and then plant some seeds or whatever it is. I have a bunch of starts yet. This is my chamomile bed, and that little spot right there I did grow under the lights, and I had different areas too, but it didn't grow so good, so I've reseeded this whole thing, and it's probably hard for the camera to see, but there's a lot of it coming up, which is what I want, a lot of chamomile. This is dill. It's mammoth dill, and let me get my shadow out of the way. It looks like a miniature jungle, but it's doing really well. It's hefty, giant, hefty stuff. Stuff I had grown in the past was really tall, so I don't know what the difference between mammoth and other dill is, but this stuff has got really thick stalks on it, and this one right here actually has blooms on it. So, but yep, I do a lot of fermenting, and I can always use the dill. Here we have spearmint, and I put a mint in there by itself because mint takes over and it's very invasive. And then I have some hummingbird mint, and I put it in there by itself because mint's very invasive and it takes off. I haven't really noticed the hummingbirds over it, but it's not much of a flower anyway. My next is hyssop, and it tastes like licorice. The leaves taste like licorice, so I'm hoping that that takes off a little better. And all the little green growths and stuff in there, I also stuck flowers in there. This is my favorite. This is lemon verbena, and I revived a plant from last year, but I also bought 2 more, and it's doing really well, and it flavors a lot of the teas that I'm going to be making, and it also tastes good if you kind of squish up the leaves in iced tea, and that makes it really good too. I have a bucket full of arugula, and it's taken off. I've got some rosemary. I had 2 other plants in there, and they just didn't make it, so I bought this one from Walmart. That Bonnie is probably the name brand around here, like Proven Winner. It's a top name brand, and so that's what that is, and I think it's going to make it. This is what is it? Oh, thyme. And it looks like it's doing okay. And then right here is what's called serville, and it is a herb. I don't know how it's doing, and I can't remember. It's good to make tea. It has a little bit of a citrusy taste to it, so we'll see how that works out. And then in here I have some oregano, and this certain type of oregano, it came from Baker Creek, and I have some growing someplace else, and it just isn't like taking off very good. It's wild. I can't pronounce it. I don't know if you can see it. Zaatar. Zatar. Oregano. And I think I've bought other oregano since then. Over here I have some lavender, and I also have some lavender seeds I need to stick in there. In this corner I have a cherry tomato, and usually they get pretty big and bushy, so I left it in a pot by itself. And these are pots that I just got going. I haven't got dirt or anything in them yet. So I got 4 of those. And then here, yeah, it's starting to come up a little bit, is Job's Tears. I'm not exactly sure what it is good for. They said you can make beads. It's some kind of a grain. Your guess is as good as mine. The seeds look like ticks, which is kind of gross. They were gray and striped. Then here I've got all kinds of lettuce. I've got Paris Island, Iceberg, oak red leaf, or red oak leaf, Bib. Let's see on this side, and you see it's starting to come up. Price head, and spinach, and butter crunch. Oh my gosh, butter crunch is my favorite so far. That and a Tom Thumb, and I don't think I have any Tom Thumb in here. And then here's another cherry tomato. So I'm going to plant maybe some carrots. I'm going to try some carrots in a container. And I need some Swiss chard. And I haven't decided yet, but there'll be something in there. And then let me take you over to the cottage. And let me turn me around here. But this thing above my head, where is it? There it is. Okay, that is a Baltimore Oriole feeder, and we just happen to have a couple of Baltimore Orioles, and they have been putting on quite a show for us. We love feeding the birds. We have hummingbirds, and we've got the Orioles, and we've got the woodpeckers, and look at this. I got this little swingy house here. Why can't I get this on camera? There we go. And I've got this in it, and it was full of jelly, and they eat grape jelly, so it looks like they've cleaned that out. Last year the woodpeckers got into it, and then they ran the Orioles out. So far the Orioles haven't noticed, or not the Orioles, but the woodpeckers. And going over to the cottage, I got some birds that moved in there. I'm not happy about it. They're pooping all over the place. They've moved up into the rafters of the porch, and then there's a hole in the wall of the cottage that doesn't go all the way through, but there's a bunch of grackles in there. Nasty birds, they just poop everywhere. But let me turn this around. And this is my green stalk, and it is just amazing. It's got all the kinds of those lettuces that I was talking about, and kale, and I mean, we've eaten several salads off of here, and as you can see, there's a whole lot more that I could eat. This is the butter crunch, but I mean, just look at that, how gorgeous it is. This is too, what is this? Really like the Tom Thumb. This kind of thick and sweet leaves, and this thing turns, by the way, so I need to turn it anyway, so everybody gets a little taste of the sun. I got blue leaf kale. I've got spinach. Not thrilled with this kind of spinach. I like the kind with the big leaves, so that will be not doing that again. Over here is my herbs. Look at that parsley. I keep cutting it, and it keeps growing back. I've got pineapple sage. I got more parsley over here. I've got what is this? Oh, broadleaf sage. So I guess that's just regular sage. Some of these are empty. My once again, my oregano was down there, and it didn't do very good. And there's another place where it just kind of, there's a little bit in the corner, right there. And then here's some of it here, and it's just kind of hanging in there. This is arugula, and I've got more arugula here, and cilantro. I've got some regular basil down here. I'd like to have a lot more. And this right here is stevia, and I'm so happy about it because I've never been able to grow it before. Seems to like it. So as you can see, this thing is just taking off and doing well. I had to water everything today in the containers because it's so hot and the wind just evaporates it even faster. So over here on the porch, waiting to be planted, whenever we can get time to get the rest of this stuff in the ground, is an assortment of tomatoes, some peppers, some flowers. These right here, these sunflowers are very special, and we bought them for an outrageous price, but basically we look at it, it was a donation to a Christian children's camp in Wisconsin. But these flowers are the guy worked on them for 10 years to create this certain type of sunflower, and it's called Van Gogh's Fantasy. And I can't wait to see what they're like if we don't get them in the ground before then. That big plant right there is a ghost pepper, which needs to be put in the ground pretty soon. These are two different kinds of basils, and one's holy basil and the other one is spicy basil. So those need to go in, and like I said, just so many things we need to get done. So that's probably what some of those boxes are going to be. So anyway, get turned back around here. That is what's been going on at Toad Hopper Ranch. We haven't been sitting around too much, but like I said, this wind is crazy, and it's probably blowing the microphone, but you know, we do what we can. I just thought it was about time I got a video up, whether it was good or bad or in between, because my mom has discovered YouTube. Hi, Mom. And so I haven't put a video up since she discovered it. So anyway, that is it from Toad Hopper Ranch. I hope you're all blessed. I hope you're all doing well. And if you would subscribe and like and tell your friends and all that kind of stuff and get our numbers up there, maybe we can get monetized. That's our hope, but we'll see. All right, thank you, and God bless you all. Bye.